Just waiting for this to get started. It's still loading on my end. Okay, hello everyone. I wanted to post a video today about what our spirituality has to do with our physical wellness. So a lot of you who have followed my page and my website know that I have kind of a broad reach and I talk about a lot of different things as far as wellness goes. I talk about physical wellness, and then I talk about having purpose in life, relationships, parenting, all of it. So how does this all connect, and why do I reach so many different topics and call it the same topic? It's because I feel that they're connected. So when we look at our physical wellness, if we think about our bodies need to be taken care of. So who's going to take care of our bodies? You know, as we're adults, we can't expect other people to take care of our bodies, so it's our job. So when I look at spirituality and how that feeds into physical wellness, I think about stewardship and I think about responsibility, higher level responsibility. So if we think about our bodies as something that needs to be taken care of, and we separate out from that, and we think of ourselves as caretakers, and for me that's a spiritual level or a higher consciousness level. If we think about that, then we want to take responsibility, right, for our bodies and for our wellness. You know, a lot of us focus on our physical wellness because in our society it's widely accepted. You know, we get a lot of rewards for looking good and for being physically capable, but a lot of us forget to tie meaning into the way that we take care of our bodies. So when you harmonize your higher self, your spiritual self, your higher consciousness self, your higher vibrating self with your physical body and your physical well-being, then you can reach higher and higher levels of physical and mental wellness. So I want to go through this in categories. I've got 3 aspects to wellness that I focus on. The first is physical and mental, the second is spiritual, and the third is karmic. So our physical and mental health is the easiest to talk about. It's a language that we speak in our society. We get a lot of rewards for looking good and for being physically strong and capable. And so it's easy to talk about, oh, I'm on a diet, you know, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I want to lose weight, you know, I'm getting facials, whatever. So this is all physical speak, and it's important, but we tend to do that on its own as an island from spirituality. So we either focus on spirituality or we focus on the body, but we forget to link the two together in order to find purpose in physical wellness and spirituality at the same time. So the physical wellness will increase when we start taking responsibility on a spiritual level and start focusing on our karmic blueprint. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. Spirituality, to me, is taking responsibility for your actions. So most people see spirituality as something that's religious, or they use religion to access their spirituality. But for me, it spans your whole life, whether or not you go to church, whether or not you believe in God. For me, it's taking conscious action to be who you want to be. So this includes being as physically healthy as you would like to be, as mentally stable as you'd like to be, taking conscious active action. Spirituality is finding a reason to care about how you show up in the world, how you participate in relationship with yourself, which means relationship with your body, relationship with your mind at the same time. So for me, spirituality is almost independent of religion and beliefs in God. It's more of a conscious relationship with self and a conscious relationship with your presence on the planet. So your tangible and your intangible worlds both are connected, but we don't really live that way. A lot of us don't live that way. And it's my belief that we start raising up our physical and mental wellness when we start aligning meaning with the care of our physical and mental bodies or aspects of our bodies. So we are energetic beings, and the actions of each person ripple out. And so when we start taking responsibility for our actions, even in our self-care, those actions ripple out, you know, into the global consciousness and make a positive impact on a really low level. But when there's millions or hundreds of thousands of us doing that, it does make a positive impact in the world. And that's kind of where I come into karma. So karma is the third aspect of wellness in my way of viewing wellness and various aspects of wellness. So karma is the concept that our previous lives affect our current life. And you don't really have to believe in reincarnation in order to believe in karma. In my opinion, it's based on the concept of reincarnation, but really what it is about is an energetic blueprint or imprint from something outside of this current moment or outside of this current physical reality. So in my beliefs, it's more complex than that. So the actions of each person rippling out has to do with previous generations, has to do with current generations, it has to do with someone across the world from us, someone in our family, someone in the past who isn't even around anymore. You know, those actions to me have energetic ripples that go out, and they continue going out until the people that they affect deal with those energetic ripples. So I'm just looking at my notes here. If you've watched me before, I always look at my notes. So particular ripples resonate with particular people. It doesn't mean that karma in general affects or is the responsibility of every person. I believe that certain karma speaks to certain people. So maybe there's certain things that speak to you from previous generations or from things that are going on in the world. And if it speaks to you, then in my belief, it's kind of your responsibility to deal with it on your personal level, not necessarily to heal the whole globe, but to deal with the way that it resonates with you and to take responsibility and change that. And that does affect our physical health. I'll come to that in a second. So I believe that the karmic ripples come out, and I believe that right now we're dealing with it quite a bit. And a really good example right now is, people of European descent having to deal with the karma of previous generations and this generation and what we've done to people of color. It's time for us to step up. And that's only one example. I mean, there's so many examples of what humans have done to each other. And right now it's really coming to the forefront. Interracial karma is really coming up right now. And look at the way that it's affecting the world. I mean, talk about wellness. It's affecting our global wellness, our country wellness, our racial wellness, everything. And that does come down to personal wellness because, if we are hemorrhaging energy toward these issues that are going on in the world unresolved, then how can we keep our energy here to take care of ground zero? How can we take excellent care of our physical and mental wellness when we have these incipient energetic bleeds going on, that are planetary and intergenerational, interrelational all across, every boundary you can think of. We've got bleeds of how people treat each other from previous generations and this generation, even people in your family, people in your life. We have this subconscious awareness. It's like a subconscious empathy, and I know many, many of us feel it, and we don't always talk about it, but I know that a lot of us are aware that the planet's kind of a mess, and it has been for a long time. And in my topic of talking about personal wellness, this, feeds right into that, because if we're losing energy, on a deeper level about planetary issues, societal issues, we're afraid of what's going to happen on the planet, then we're not vibrationally elite. We can't get above that deep guttural fear reaction that we're having, that we don't even always know that we're having. That deep guttural fear about our safety and about the planet's safety, that keeps us in a lower vibrational state. And health is vibrational. So if we're stuck in a lower vibrational state about karmic ripples, then how can we elevate our vibration for our own personal physical and mental wellness? How can we do that? So taking responsibility for karmic ripples has a lot to do with going within. I do this work with people when we're talking about trying to get them feeling happier, more fulfilled, and accomplishing more in their lives, that we have to kind of look deeper and say, okay, what was undone by generations before you, your mom or your dad, what what processes did they never complete in their lives on a deeper emotional level? What kind of like emotional residue was left over in your family from them, and now you're alive as their kid, even if you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, and that karmic energetic debris kind of gets left over, even if it's not energetic and it's just like a subconscious awareness of a lack of growth in your family, or a lack of issues being resolved in your family, then that stuff kind of just sits in the background, of your life, until you face it and say, oh wow, my family did this. God, for generations they were, abusive, or alcoholic, or whatever. How can I rise above that? How can I ask myself for forgiveness? How can I energetically ground down that energy so that it can dissipate, and I can grow more, and my kids can grow more, and my grandkids, and then on and so forth. So for me, wellness is absolutely physical, it is absolutely spiritual, and it is karmic. Some of the greatest healing I've had with clients is when we get down to that deeper level. The karmic level is such a deep seed, and it can be informing who you are and the way that you make choices, and you don't even know it. So it's crazy, when we get down to that deeper karmic level and start piecing out, okay, what's left over from previous generations, or from other people around the globe, what's left over there, the release of energy into this person that they now have to actually take care of themselves is huge. It's like a little atomic bomb within them, of just release, relax, let go, become the person you are in this moment, rather than having tendrils of yourself kind of stuck in the past, or in other people's actions. So this karmic piece, a lot of people miss this, but this is the hardest part to understand, and it's almost the most powerful part of wellness and self-evolution, is realizing like, oh my gosh, I am deeply taken away, on a deeper level. I'm taken away from this present moment by these past things. For me as a white person, I have, throughout my life, I've had this very, deep, energetic sort of bleed going on about what the generations before me have done, and what the generations now have done and are doing, to people of color. This is something that has affected my emotional and spiritual health. And because it's coming to the surface more and more now in the world, I, in this beautiful and painful way, am finally facing that, taking responsibility for my actions, my words, the way that I treat others, and really trying to face that. And for me, dealing with that and releasing that energetic grip is so freeing for me, because I finally feel that I'm telling more of the truth to myself, and I can face my wellness on a higher level, on a more responsible level, and on multiple levels too, not just my physical health. So my physical health is at a high right now. My mental health is at a high right now, because I'm dealing with my health on multiple levels. And this is what I do with clients as well. And like I said, it's like a rocket. All of a sudden, when we get down to this deep, old karmic level, they start just having these releases and making decisions in their lives that free them from energies that are really just holding them back. So it's not just a belief, it's something that I've seen play out, in other people's stories as well. So again, when you look down at my business page here on Facebook, or you look at my website, raisethebarwellness.com, you'll see, I talk about a lot of physical elements of wellness, but I also talk a lot about spirituality, intuition. I think I have some stuff about karma, about global crises, and about our roles as humans. And to me, it is wellness. That's why I'm Raise the Bar Wellness. That's why I'm Melissa Raise on Facebook, because, I'm aligned with this company, and I'm aligned with my beliefs that in order to move forward and to raise up vibrationally, we have to start integrating our spirituality into our physicality. We have to start integrating our intangibles with our tangibles. We're such a tangible race. We're such a tangible animal in a way, and I think that we've gone as far as we can in that way. And it's time to start integrating the unseen parts of ourselves. Start to be honest about, oh, you know what, I need to deal with this stuff because it's affecting me physically and mentally. So I appreciate you guys watching the video today, and anyone who watches this in the future. I hope this reaches somebody today and helps you understand your own wellness, maybe touches on something that you believe yourself. Feel free to reach out to me here on the page or privately in Messenger. I am around to continue this topic. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Thanks for being here.